Gotta get started, and then Mark, let anyone else in. Awesome. Hope everyone is doing well this April. I know obviously spring games is next week, so some people will be getting a head start on their summer sports. Hopefully, we can answer everyone's questions throughout this meeting. Just a reminder to stay on mute, just because then we don't get the background noise and anything comes through. And just an extra reminder, this meeting is recorded. So if you have anything that's kind of personal medical information in regards to athletes, please wait until the end when we aren't recording anymore, because this will be uploaded for other people to see. So just make sure that we're keeping those things private and confidential where it needs to be. So we will be covering the questions that were sent in. We didn't get a ton, and we had about 4 or 5. And even though soccer and tennis are being discussed a little bit on here, we'll be going over the invitationals for them because just they will not be at summer games this year. Just kind of reminding everyone, I just want to make sure I'm avoiding confusion there for those sports, but they are part of the sports season, so we will briefly go over those as well. Awesome. Mark will be monitoring the chat. I will kind of pause intermittently to see if there's anything we can help with moving forwards. Awesome. Well, just a reminder, kind of, we've changed the style of these coach meetings. Before it was just pretty much me and Danny talking through all the dates that you guys get sent from your ADs anyway. We kind of felt like it was wasting people's times. We will briefly go over that information for you. But we're just trying to create a little bit more of a collaborative community, digging into your guys' experience with coaching and other events to help out either new coaches, people new to coaching different sports. So we'll see how it goes. Hopefully it's a little more interactive than kind of just reading dates for you for 45 minutes. We'll go over the vital information and regional dates as well. Just a reminder that the paperwork deadline for the summer sports is April 15th. That means it has to be submitted by April 15th for your athletes to be able to participate in the summer sports season. Summer games this year will be June 4th through to June 6th. Competition would be Friday, June 5th and Saturday, June 6th. Opening ceremony would be on June 4th, and that is at UW Whitewater again, will be the home base. We've got the tentative schedule, cornhole and track on Friday, and then powerlifting and track on Saturday. Regional events for cornhole, we'll still have Northern and Southern District for qualifications. Northern is for regions 2, 3, 4, and 5. Southern is for 6, 7, and 8. Both of those events are on the same day, which makes it a little easy for everyone. Saturday, May 9th. The Northern District is at Colby High School, which it was last year as well. And Caitlin will be your point of contact for that. Registration deadline is April 22nd. And then for the Southern District, it's at Oregon High School again, same as last year. Registration deadline April 22nd, and Brooke Ringelberg will be your point of contact for that tournament for any questions. Awesome. There we go. Track and field. A couple more events here. Regions 2 and 3 will be Saturday, May 9th as well, alongside the cornhole tournament. Same registration deadline, because Caitlin is still the point of contact there. Regions 4 and 5 track is May 16th, which is a Saturday at Schwabanon High School. I think I said that correctly. April 29th for reg deadline. And Megan, of course, is the AD for that region. She's your contact there. Regions 6 and 7 will be combined, Oregon High School again on May 9th. And then Adam and Brooke, obviously your regional ADs are your guys' contact points for that. Region 8 with Amber will be Saturday, May 16th at Muskego. Reg deadline is April 29th. And then, so for soccer and tennis, with these moving to invitationals, I just wanted to present the opportunities we currently have. Program 725 is going to be offering a soccer and tennis invitational together. That's going to be on July 19th. It's going to be Elkhorn High School. For the contact information, that's going to be Val Donnan. Her email address is on here. When we send these slides out tomorrow, you'll be able to click on that email and send her an email from there as well with any questions. We also have a tennis invitational hosted by program 708, which is with Betty Aguirre. And that's going to be at Lake Geneva Tennis Club. And that is on August 29th. And just realized the year is incorrect for the soccer and tennis invitational. That is, of course, should be 2026. Awesome. Just a quick reminder for the sports information and coaches resource page. We do still have these up on the website. If you go into Get Involved, Coaching Resources, and scroll down, you're going to find a lot of forms, general resources, Fit 5 information. This is where the recordings will go. For example, if you can't make the meeting next week for spring games, this is where the link will be. Scroll down, you've got your sport-specific information. I'm aware I've been over this a few times now, so I'm not going to go into too much depth of it. But if you are new, this is kind of a good spot to start. You know, if you're interested in coaching track, you can go in here and kind of get some ideas for the different events that we run. What we can maybe do to help with the long jump video resources is all in there. The sport information pages, if you go to sports and sports offered, so obviously for summer sports, they're going to be in here.
You're trying to show us something on the website. It's not displaying on the screen that we're seeing.
Is it still showing the PowerPoint?
Yes, it is.
Okay, I'm going to come back. How is that
Yes.
better?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry.
Much better, thank you.
Me and Mark had a discussion about Zoom versus Teams earlier, and maybe I'll be doing Teams in the future. But sorry, for the sport information pages, if you go to the sports drop down here and go to sports offered, scroll down to the appropriate sports season. So if we take cornhole, this is going to be sports information, kind of your competition options, the dates, link to the resource page, kind of where the competitions are going to be, and links in here. You'll have your registration forms down here, special needs form, athlete assessment scorecard, which we're going to go over in a minute as well. And then for the coaches resource page, that is under Get Involved, and then coaching resources here. Scroll down, we've got forms, general resources. There's lots of information in here. If you feel like it's missing something, please let me know. I can always add it pretty easily. You've got all the sports broken down in here as well. So if you're new or just looking for some ideas, this is a good spot to kind of start. Perfect. Okay. Now I'm going to go back to my other screen. Okay. Can we see the PowerPoint again now?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. April and May. Sorry, just May is going to be Special Olympics Physical Fitness in Sport Month. This is a opportunity by, I believe, SOI is putting this on to Special Olympics International. There's going to be a set of 4 webinars, which you can sign up for. If you can join at the time they're on, great. There will also be recordings, and the recordings will be uploaded, and I'll find those links and we'll be able to put them onto our website. But if you do register for these webinars, they will send you the recordings directly. So they were all sent out in Eastern time. They'll start at 8 a.m. for us here in Wisconsin, and they're every week. May 7th, coaching smarter with fitness assessments. Following week is fitness through sport playbook, coach-friendly lessons for healthier athletes. May 21st is making fitness a part of practice. There'll be a discussion in there as well. And then May 28th is kind of building that team to support fitness. So how we can use other people to help kind of promote fitness within your guys' teams. These are great opportunities. A lot of the webinars, if you've watched the recordings, they pull people from all around the world, and it's great to hear their different experiences. So yeah, that registration link you'll be able to click on it when we send out the PDFs for this if you're interested in attending these at all. We have a quick Summer Games update. Cornhole and powerlifting will be at UW Whitewater again at the Williams Center, so no change there. And then, Mark, if you want to quickly just touch on the track and field situation.
Yes, as everyone is
Mark, this is Danny. I can chime in here real quick if you want.
Okay.
Just solo dad night tonight. So so just real quick update on the track situation for Whitewater. We were aware when we signed a contract that this year the track at Whitewater would be under construction. This past December, Jason and myself did a walkthrough at Whitewater High School, which is about 5 minutes down the road. We got the green light to go there. It was a perfect location. And about a week and a half ago, Whitewater High School decided that they no longer can accommodate us. So we are working diligently with the University of Whitewater and some other local area high schools to host our track portion of our summer games. So we are working diligently on finding a location. Once that location is set, we will notify everyone involved on that. So just wanted to give everyone a quick update on that. No need to fret, track will happen. It'll just be at a different high school off-site. We will have shuttles to and from, and lunch will be provided as well out at that location. So same as always, just a little bit of a logistical difference this year due to the track being under construction.
Danny, can you hear me?
I can.
So are you looking at something in very close proximity to Whitewater?
We're looking at every option close to Whitewater as possible.
Have you contacted Burlington?
We have contacted Burlington, I believe. We have contacted Fort Atkinson, Milton, Palmyra, all those local area high schools in that area. Yes. University of Whitewater has good connections with those high schools as well because their track team sometimes uses them as well. So we are working with them also for using their partnerships and relationships that they have built as well.
I was just curious because a few years ago we were able to have our regional at the Burlington High School and use their facilities.
Sure. Thank you.
As Danny had stated, you'll be made aware as soon as things are finalized. We know something will be in place. We're not concerned. So it's just a typical, and as a reminder, it's just a one year issue. So we ask for patience, and we will advise ASAP as soon as things are finalized on our end.
But you mentioned providing shuttle service?
Yes, shuttle service will come just from the university. For those staying on campus, we will run shuttles consistently to and fro from to whichever track we end up at. So it will all be covered.
Okay,
All right.
Thank you. I'm going to move on. Just a reminder, kind of summer games, all state games. We tend to put up quite a few on the website where the drop downs are. We've got the links on here as well for each one. This is where we will put schedules, hotel information, etc. All goes up there, as well as it being shared through the normal channels. The links are on here. When I don't want to keep stopping sharing and starting sharing again, but I can show these later when we go back to the website later on. Before we move on to kind of any of the coach submitted questions or any extra questions on regional, state, or invitational events we can help with.
Yeah, David, a little confused. Can you clarify the 15th is a registration deadline and 21st was registration deadline? What's the difference? One was regional?
The paperwork deadline is the April 15th, so the old medical deadline. And then April 22nd for cornhole. Regional events are either April 22nd for regions 2, 3, 6, and 7, and then April 29th for regions 4 and 5, and region 8 for track.
All right, thank you.
Dave, nothing in the chat.
Perfect. Let's move on. Before we do anything else, we do have a upcoming event. This year we're going to have a powerlifting coaches clinic. There's been a lot of work going on between a lot of the sports staff to try and get this put on. It's going to be provided by USA Powerlifting, so they'll be coming, kind of help provide training for our coaches. All the information is on here. There'll be a couple of SOWI staff in attendance, just to kind of help answer any event-specific questions that USA Powerlifting obviously wouldn't be able to answer. So some of us will be up there too. Once people have registered, the way that they would like to run this event is they want it to be as useful for the coaches as possible. So we'll send out a question submission form, kind of gather all those questions, and then over those 4 hours, we'll work through kind of what the main questions are. We'll go over correct techniques, all that sort of stuff. You know, this clinic isn't designed just for new coaches or extremely experienced powerlifting coaches. Doesn't matter what your experience level is. If you want to come along, that would be awesome. We would love to have as many people come as possible. Kind of hopefully try and create that nice little community. I've had one summer games under my belt, and the powerlifting coaches were all in that little area, seemed to get along well. That was a nice little group. So if you've got any questions, want to come along to the coaching clinic, maybe learn a couple of things, maybe meet a couple of people, you know, we're going to put that opportunity on for you. It's going to be Saturday, July 18th. It's going to be a 4-hour clinic, so 10 until 2. Hopefully that's going to give people enough time to travel to the event, from the event. It's going to be up in Warsaw. Frank's Gym has been great in providing their location for us for this. For anyone that's going to attend, lunch and water will be provided as well. We'll send out the registration link tomorrow when we send out the meeting recording and all kind of the summaries of the slides. The link, we'll also put it on the powerlifting sport page and the coaches resource page too. One thing I didn't put on here, if you are looking with the new coaching structure to kind of become that gold level coach, and maybe you want to coach at USA Games in the future, this does count towards your in-person training. So if that's something you guys want to do in the future, this is a good opportunity to come and kind of do something reasonably local. I did see a question in chat. I don't know if that's going straight to me.
Yeah, the group chat is disabled, and it's technology, Dave, so I'm just trying to figure it out.
Okay.
Uh,
Participant can chat with. Okay. How is that now? Meeting group chat.
I think it works now.
There we go. Okay. Mark, we might be using Zoom from now. Not Zoom, sorry, the other one, Teams. There we go. Awesome. Okay, so let's move on to our submitted questions for Cornhole. Clarification on the scoring and how to fill out the athlete assessment scorecard. Cornhole uses, I always forget the correct phrase, cancellation scoring. So each team goes up against each other. Let's say one team has 10 points, the other team ends up with 8 points. It ends up being like a 2-point difference. Team A would score 2 points in the end because of the way that cancels out with each other. For the athlete assessment scorecard, this is where I knew I'd have to go back to the website. So let's go, that's the wrong one. Here. Can you see the website again?
Not yet. Now we can.
No, we can't. Okay. So for that athlete assessment scorecard, if you go into Cornhole under the sports information page, it's down here. So from here, it's pretty self-explanatory, but admittedly can be a little intimidating if you haven't looked at it before. From here, you'll put athlete's name, number 1, number 2, kind of your program name, and go in there. Now, each athlete, they will take 4 throws from each box around the court. Toss number 1, you would put it there scoring from here. The scores are outlined at the bottom. So if the cornhole bag doesn't hit the board at all, it's 0. If the bag hits the board but falls off, it's half a point, 1 point for any bag that rests on the board, 3 points for any hole bag that goes straight through the hole. Total score is going to be the sum of points over each throw in here. So if I was to throw and every single bag that I threw just landed straight on the board, my score would be 16 here. If Mark was to go as my athlete number 2, and let's say he hit the board with every single throw, he would get half point in each one. He would end up with 8 points in there. That would be the team score there would be 24. This should be submitted with your registrations. That helps the ADs with their divisioning. They do use previous scores as well, but for new teams, this score is really important. See, it's done from different distances as well. So I can try from 18 feet if that's the kind of level my team is at, 27 feet, 21 feet, all in here. If your cornhole team has 3 athletes, and ADs or Danny, feel free to jump in if I'm wrong here, you would still do this with all 3 of them, but you just take the highest 2 scores to find an average, and then you would submit the scores through there. I'm going to pause to make sure that I'm correct. Awesome. Anything in the chat there, Mark?
Megan did a great job of answering. The question came as to a substitute player within cornhole, regarding can they float between teams? If someone is sick, can they substitute the player? Megan, thank you, Megan, for following up. A traditional doubles, a team roster consists of 2 to 3 players, must be on that roster to substitute for them. And then she provided in substitutions within the cornhole rules of 3.1.1. So regarding that. So again, thank you, Megan, for that. But those rules can be, as David shown, the rules are on the website under the cornhole for reference. So can a person be on multiple rosters? I know, because if they're needed on one and they're also needed on a second one, who do they even as a substitute, if they need to jump in, what do you do for the other team? So they can only be registered with one team. Okay, that's what we have.
Okay, let's go back to the PowerPoint. Awesome. There we go. Coaching track, we had a couple of questions. Specify for relay uniforms, is one athlete allowed to wear long pants and one wear shorts, providing they are the same color? Short answer is yes. Rule 4.1.4 in our rules say all relay team members wear identical singlets or shirts. Undershirts are worn during the relay. They must all match in style and color. However, relay bottoms just need to be the same color. It's nice when it's in the rules. Yeah.
Dave, there was a question. Do we have to turn in scores for each distance? Or if we have athletes that are known to do 27 feet, can we just turn in that one? Megan replied, 18 feet, 21 feet, and 27 are the distances. So there was a follow-up. Do we have to test at each distance to turn in with the registrations? So it's if they're participating in each of the distances, do they have to turn in
They only can participate in one distance, right? So I could pull out the reg form. Danny, do you know the answer to that one?
So if they're only doing 27 feet, do they have to do the 18 and the 21 feet? Or if they're only doing 18, do they have to do the other two? So it's if you're in one, do you have to turn in scores for the other two distances, even though you're not competing in them? Is where the question comes out.
Mark, if I can help a little bit. Typically what you do is you do 27. If they don't qualify, then you go down to 21 and try. If they qualify, that's the level they compete at. If they don't qualify at 21, you go down to 18. Start with the largest distance. Once they qualify, they're done. If they don't qualify, you go down a level. So if someone qualifies at 27, they only have 27. Does that make sense?
It does to me.
So
Amy, does it make sense to you?
So the number that we're turning in is just for the distance that they are going for. Is that correct? The average? Can you hear me?
We can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay, sorry.
No, you're good. I am.
Richard?
I don't.
When we fill them out, we keep the score on for the other distance. They start at 27. They only scored 2 points. They don't qualify. We keep that on the score sheet. Then we shoot them at 21, put that on the same score sheet. So it shows We tried them at that distance, but they don't qualify.
So what I am looking at is I have 40 athletes, and we started last week with one practice, but it's due in 2 weeks. So there's not really time for us to do every athlete at every distance, but we know which athletes are 27. We know which athletes are 21 and which are 18. I will challenge them with that, but I can't, I don't have the time to do 4 times 4
I
and
understand what you're
then by
saying.
40 people.
I understand what you're saying. I would defer that to David or your regional rep or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Amy, we have a department meeting tomorrow morning. So we will ask and then we will follow up with you. Does that work?
That's great. Thanks, Mark.
Okay.
Awesome. Okay, we kind of backtracked, but that's absolutely fine. We said about the relays. Also with track, we had a question about which 3 events can an athlete register for? So in the rules, it says athletes may participate in a maximum of 3 events from only one category. We have the chart on the next slide. Athlete may compete in 3 individual events, 2 individual and 1 relay, or 1 individual and 2 relays. This might be a little small on the screen, but we can see here, this is in the rules too, it's broken down into categories. So if you have an athlete that wants to go into category D as the walking, they can pick any of the 3 in here. So they could do the 100-meter walk, 200-meter walk, and the 4x100 walking relay if they wanted to. I really like this table when I found it. But hopefully this kind of helps explain which 3 events they can register for. So then we won't have an athlete who would do 30-meter motorized wheelchair. Then like the 100-meter walk, they wouldn't be able to do it that way. Also note with the softball throw, it's softball throw or the shot put and / or mini jav, and then standing long jump or running long jump. They can't do both. We do have kind of the breakdowns in here. Athletes competing in the softball throw can't compete in mini jab or shot put. However, athletes may compete in both the mini jab and the shot put. That's kind of a big question that we get. And then athletes who are throwing over 15 meters in the softball throw, they should be competing in the shot put or the mini javelin. That's kind of not the point of the softball throw. It's for athletes who would throw kind of typically a shorter distance. Athletes who are throwing more than 20 meters in a SOWI competition are ineligible to participate in softball throw following that season as well. Now, I know Adam isn't on, so if there's any detailed track questions, I can always reach out to him and get those answers tomorrow. I can see my chat window blowing a little bit.
There were some questions on where the table is located for track. Megan did, again, thank you, Megan, for following up that table is in the track rules. For that, there was another question regarding what category do you put down if the athlete is not running or walking? Just all field events. So Megan, again, thank you. She's helping me out here. Category E has that, but again, that's listed within the rules as well.
David, I have a question. It's just a little off here, but required practices before regionals. Are 8 practices required before regionals or before state?
Mark?
Because I mean, we start back in February, and then we go to some of these haven't even started yet. And I'm confused. Why are we starting so early?
It's broken down. It's 8 weeks or 8 weeks worth of practice prior to the first like regional track meet. So, but if you look at practices are generally an hour in length. So you figure 8 hours of practice in that time period prior to the first regional track meet. So if you practice twice, you get 2 or more hours in a week. That's a little more condensed, but they figure 8 weeks or and a minimum of 1 hour per week of practice, because generally people give them other things to do, walking on their own, doing some other things, so that kind of spreads out. So that is how Special Olympics looks at it.
Because we practice usually a good hour and a half each week.
Yeah, and so it's within the rules. It states 1 hour or 8 weeks prior to that event. So, but that's how they look at it.
Okay, so it could be like 8 hours instead of
yes.
8 all right.
That's how I always attacked it.
All right. Thank you.
Yep.
One other question, a little off the map here. Why are Region 7 having to go all the way to Oregon and not over to Muskego for track regionals? I mean, it's like a 15-minute drive for us, and we have to go all the way to Oregon.
It's the combination of the cornhole and track together, availability to do both sports in space as well as volunteers. So a number of things were discussed, and after each year we look at and reevaluate. So Diane, your feedback here is great, and it'll be relayed to the sports team, and we'll be taking into consideration for next year. So after this year's games, we will do a sit down and conversation regarding when and where the events are.
Okay, I appreciate your feedback on that. Yep. It's because I'm getting the questions put to me from the parents and the group homes, and I said, well, I'll find out, what the reasoning is behind that. So, they're just saying, well, why can't we go to Muskego? Well, I don't know. I'll find out. So thank you.
You're welcome.
All right.
Yeah.
There was a question regarding if an athlete can only attend 4 or less of the practices that are scheduled. Are they able to attend regional or state competition? We're not at the local program level, and it would be up to the local programs to determine, is he missing because of work and can't make the practices due to times, that type of thing. It's a local program determination as to how they want to assess it. This is the recommendation of Special Olympics based on to make them feel at their top of their game to compete. Diane, can you put your thing on mute? But that's the reason. So it's a local program decision regarding what competition at the regional event based on the number of practices. Some utilize it as a quota based. If someone's at all the practices and someone isn't, that can be taken into consideration. So, okay, that is it to date regarding that.
Awesome. What's another track question we had? If athlete is an alternate for a relay, is that considered one of their 3 events, even if they don't actually run in that event? Yes. Checked this earlier with Adam. So if they are listed as an alternate, it is considered as one of their 3 events because they could still run, or whatever the relay event is. Coaching powerlifting. Lots of questions on here. We had, I know that USA Powerlifting obviously run the event at Summer Games, and Danny and Jason have had conversations with them about kind of timings, equipment checks, just kind of everything moving forwards. We're always open for feedback to make things better. But the main question we had on the powerlifting was clarifying divisioning. There was some confusion last year, so we just want to make sure that we're on the same page going into the event this year rather than it being different from what people expected. Athletes for powerlifting are divisioned by gender and then weight category, and that weight is taken on at the event the morning before kind of the lifts take part. Then you've got I'm not going to read through all of them, you've kind of got the different classes of weight there. Now that's the maximum weight. So if you have a male athlete that weighs 110 pounds, they would be in that group 1 there. And then it kind of staggers the whole way through there. Age is not used in divisioning for powerlifting. It is just gender and weight. Weight of the athlete, I should say. Cool. I was expecting my chat box to go. Any questions on that in there, Mark?
Nothing.
Awesome. Well, I had a lot of time for that one, and
the big thing to remember, it's Special Olympics rules, not U.S. powerlifting.
Mm-hmm.
So we had a lot of feedback last year on that. Special Olympics, not USA. So please remember that for this season. Thank you.
Awesome. Any other questions we can address? We're a little ahead of time.
One question that came through is within the paperwork, they ask the coaches for the ages for powerlifting. I think that's done by USA, but it doesn't matter. USA Powerlifting, because they run the event for us, may ask that, but we don't put that into consideration for ours. As Dave said, gender and weight per Special Olympics rules. Tammy, you're welcome.
Awesome.
That's it so far.
Perfect. Before I stop the recording, in case there's any other questions we need that people don't want recorded, thank you. This is a very busy time for all of you. We really appreciate all the work you guys do as coaches, program managers, everything else. I hope you all have a great rest of your evening, and hopefully see most of you at Spring Games next week. I'm about to stop. I'm going to stop sharing, and then I can stop the recording.